RealAgriculture.com's coverage of the 2011 National Cattlemen's Beef Association meeting is brought to you by HANEY Farms and Elanco Animal Health. Bill, you are the incoming president of NCBA for the year of 2011. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Bill, for Canadian viewers, I guess they're interested mainly in your new position because you're from Montana. Whereabouts in Montana?
South central Montana, between Billings and Bozeman.
Okay. So from I guess the NCBA to Canada's perspective, what are some of your thoughts on Canada U.S. Trade?
Well, times have shown that the trade between Canada, United States, and Mexico is incredibly important to a healthy beef industry. We work quite closely with the Canadian Cattlemen's Association and the cattlemen from Mexico, who are members of the Five Nations Beef Alliance, along with Australia and New Zealand. And that group was set up to work on trade issues and to make sure that different things that may impact one country and another country as far as trade goes are worked out beforehand. So we've got a good working relationship.
And do you see that relationship improving and the possibilities in the future? There'll be future growth between the nations?
Yeah, I think so. As far as the Five Nations group goes, there's actually Argentina and Uruguay and Paraguay have asked to be considered, and not that it's a club or anything, it's up to them if they want to be a part of it. We were down in Argentina this summer and visited with them, and I got some pretty strong indications from at least Argentina that they are considering that.
So when I was doing some background on some of your history in Montana, I have had a few people that have said, Bill used to be a founder of RCALF, and
right.
you told me off camera that's not necessarily the case. Can you want to give your RCALF background?
Yeah, I wasn't actually a founder. However, in the late 90s, I was on the board of the Montana Stockbrewers Association. We had a lot of members, that were interested in the impact that the Canadian imports were having on live cattle coming down, because we had a lot of ranchers that saw all those trucks coming down. Yep. Leo McDonald was a friend of mine, and he was starting an initiative to work on hire a lawyer, a trade lawyer, and get to the bottom of that issue, take some petitions to the ITC. That was called the RCALF, which was a Ranchers and Cattlemen's Legal Action Fund. And it was not meant to be a membership organization, but what the initiative needed was to prove standing. So we had to go around and get producers to sign a petition to show that they were in favor of that petition to go to the International Trade Commission. We did that, took it to the International Trade Commission. The International Trade Commission ruled that while there was some injury there, it wasn't at a high enough level to require remedy. So at that point, there was a vote by the executive committee whether or not to start a membership organization. I voted against the membership organization. I was in the minority, and so at that point I chose to go on with the Montana Stockbrewers and NCBA, and RCALF started up as a membership organization.
Okay, so I guess producers necessarily shouldn't be fearful about some of that stuff, and that there is a good opportunity to have a very positive experience with you as president of NCBA in terms of U.S.-Canadian relations.
Well, that's true. We actually have got a very strong relationship with Canadian cattlemen. Just a little side note story. We were in October, our family saw that there was some cattle that were undervalued. A class cattle, the 650 weight steers were undervalued, and so we could lock in a small profit. So we were put together a pen of those, and while we were buying, we were getting for about $1.10. Well, one day the Canadians came into Billings and boosted the price up to $1.18, and I wanted to know where was RCALF when the Canadians come down and drive up the price of these feeder cattle, so some poor guy like me can't get a buy.